Alright. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Rain World. Do I have... There we go. So we're doing some more speedruns with the Rivulet. This time I have splits. This is specifically... Actually, I can make this a bit wider. There we go. No creatures. I did a run of this recently just to get the splits up. And I kind of want to see if I can just do a bunch of runs to get these splits kind of optimized so I can get an idea of what an ideal run might look like. This is what was I actually just saying? I don't know, but I got the music up again. And we're just gonna do this a whole bunch. Hello, welcome to the stream. Let me know if the sound and like video quality is all good. Now I have two things that are different from a normal run. Whoops. Not the mistakes, that happens in normal runs all the time. Specifically, I have creatures disabled using a mod, which actually doesn't really make the run that much faster, it just makes it much more consistent. Creatures either get you and they basically end the run. So like let's say there's a blizzard in your way. You try to run past the blizzard but you get caught instead. Well, then you just have to restart the run. Right, that's like such a big time loss that there's no point continuing. But if you dodge the lizard, then you lost like a fraction of a second maybe. Having to like move out of the way of the lizard. Like it really doesn't make that much of a difference. So like actually I've had times where practice runs were slower than runs with creatures. Even though you think that just removing creatures would make it faster, like always, which that's usually how it is for... I totally forgot to turn on the splits. Let's try that again. In most other speedruns of this game, creatures make a huge difference. Any of the characters with hunter spawns, so hunter, spearmaster, artificer, they of course have to deal with a lot of dangerous creatures like red lizards, red centipedes, slam lizards. Characters like Saint have to deal with a lot of creatures, but like kind of a different set of creatures, but they're still annoying because of Saint is just kind of weaker. Although they have mobility, some areas that you go through are very cramped and there's not much room to move around and dodge things. So creatures are still a problem. But for Rivulet, there's actually only a handful of creatures in the whole run that can really affect you. Mainly in the beginning of the run, here in drainage system, very far from chimney. There's a bunch of snails, which can slow you down a little bit, and there's a bunch of scavengers. And the scavengers can be really annoying, but it's like the very beginning of the run, so it doesn't matter too much if you reset. That was kind of slow. And you know, scavengers only show up like randomly, so they may not even get in the way. So I can imagine that in a like world record run, scavengers would not even show up. In the gutter and chimney canopy, I think that lizards used to be a big problem, but I feel like there's been so much new movement that you can outmaneuver them super easily, and they aren't really as much of a problem. At least I hope that's the case. Because usually if you're just climbing up a pole, it's easy for a spider or a white lizard or a sand lizard to get in the way. But we don't really climb up poles much anymore. It's a lot of wall pounces now. And even if like, sometimes you don't want to do wall pounces, but they can still like be an option if you're climbing up a pole and the creature's in the way. You can use the wall pounds to take a different path. So, okay, another big difference with this run, aside from the creatures, is no karma requirements. As you can see, this was only a 1 requirement gate. And honestly, I didn't even need to go down to that shelter. I could have just gone straight up here, but I wanted to stick to the old route, or to the normal route. Because what you would normally have to do is karma cache. So you basically use this exploit that lets you shelter multiple times in a row without needing to get food. And it's pretty much the fastest way to get up to like level 5 karma, which is what you need to get to that gate normally. I need to focus on this movement in the next room. Okay, well I messed that up again. That's kind of something I've been working on as an alternative to the Blink. Because I messed up all the wall bounces. The Blink is the fastest way to do that room, but it is also the hardest and least consistent. Better at that, I think. So not having the karma cache in the beginning of the what is this? I guess here we are back at the karma caching. It's basically 2 minutes of doing this karma caching thing to get up to level 5 karma. And for one, it makes the run really annoying to restart because you have to do that for 2 minutes every time. So that's the main reason I have karma requirements disabled, so I don't have to do that. But it also loses you a bit of in-game time. So that's specifically the timer at the top of the screen, and not the splits that I forgot to turn on. This is going great so far. It's been a while since I've used splits. But the timer at the top of the screen is the main thing that we use to time runs. Even if it can be kind of exploited a little bit, like karma caching should take like 2 minutes, right? But because of the way that it messes with the save data, it doesn't actually save all the time that you spend. So it only adds about 17 seconds to karma cache. However, since I'm doing runs without karma caching, I'm basically adding on 17 seconds to the time that I get at the end of this run. So basically, whatever time I get at the end of these practice runs, plus 17 seconds is a time that I could expect to get in a actual run. Not if I keep messing up. Easy movement. About like 6 seconds slower. Crazy that we find all these time saves that save only a few seconds, and just one mistake like that loses all of it. I'm wondering if I should grab onto the pole there, or if I should just try to go for the other side immediately. I think I've turned storage. Yep. I'm still not consistent at setting that up, but at least I can identify when I do get it. Here's the sound effect that plays. Also, because that I don't have the karmic cache, it only adds 17 seconds to the in-game timer, but it adds 2 minutes to real time, obviously, because it actually takes 2 minutes to karmic cache. It's just that the game doesn't save that time. So you can see on the splits that I have that the oh, I don't know why I went for that. I'm still not great at this. There you go. That's how you do it properly. Well, ignoring the first mistake. So without karma catching, the real time is much closer to... Whoops, I forgot to do something there. They're still not going to be the same because of sometimes spent menuing, like sometimes when the timer doesn't update. There's something really annoying in this room. Some of the poles on the right side, like next to the right wall, you can do a pole hop on those poles, and a pole hop overrides a wall pounce. So you'll press jump and you'll do a pole hop instead of a wall pounce, and it totally breaks the chain. And I have no idea how to prevent it consistently. Here's an area where there's usually a lot of creatures in the way, but they actually aren't really that much of a problem because you're moving so fast. But it also sucks if you have to like throw a rock at one of them, because then that's a rock that you can't use to do an extended slide somewhere. Sucks. Still losing time though. Maybe it doesn't matter too much if I forget to do a pounce there. If I like make a mistake at some point in the run, because you know, it doesn't matter too much what the final time is, it matters what the best splits are. That's kind of what I'm looking for mainly. Some of best. So if I can get it the more gold splits I can get, the better. Of course, all the rocks are in the part of the room where I'm jumping over them. And one nice thing about the mod that I'm using to get rid of creatures is that you can choose which creatures you want to remove. So I have grapple worms stick around, so you actually use them in the run. I don't know what happened there. Thing important that I've learned there is when you're grappling on that block that's covered in rot, you need to release early when you're moving more horizontally, because you need horizontal speed more than anything for that jump. And then when you start swinging up a little bit, you lose a bunch of that horizontal speed, and you won't be able to make it to the next one. Go behind on all these splits. That's a huge timeout. What did I do? I guess I had to go grab the grapple worm. And I took fall damage in that one part. I don't think it's that bad. 10 seconds. But okay. Something weird about using splits is that you never realize when you make mistakes. It's like all of a sudden, oh, I lost 10 seconds. Oh dear, that was a mistake. What was it? I don't know. Just kind of have to hope that gravity switches. Oh, that was close. I almost didn't react in time. That was... Okay, so I just jumped to the other side, but now I just lost so much time. It's like, well, I can keep going and try to get a better split later, but now I'm just down on all the first splits of the run. Okay. Depending on how these runs go, I may do actual attempts later. Oh, hello, person in the chat that I couldn't read because the YouTube chat didn't update for some reason. Kind of an awkward moment when the chat is just empty. And I don't know if it's just because no one's watching or because the chat is broken. Which slug should you play? How about Rivulet? No particular reason. Sometimes I think that maybe I should play the game casually more often. Maybe I really don't need to play this game more than I already do. But I pretty much always do some sort of challenge or speedrun, you know? It can be hard. It can be kind of hard to see. Oh, I forgot to put on splits. But it can be hard to see the game as it is like intended to be played. But also I kind of like, it's hard to just like play the game without like having some sort of goal. And then when I have some sort of goal, it's like, all right, what's the best way that I can achieve this goal? I can't just like wander around, you know? Like getting all passages or something. It's kind of like that. Like you could do a casual playthrough where you try to go for all the passages. But I kind of see it now as a 100% run. I'm like, well, if I want to get 100 passages, or if I want to get all the passages, 100 passages, then I have to follow the 100% route and like learn all of that to try to optimize it, you know. This song is very nice. Kind of nice thing about this, I get to listen to a lot of music that I don't usually hear. I mean, not this song. If you run like any percent or 12%, you've heard this song a few times. But it's at the end, so I guess you don't really make it there out that often. Okay, well, this run is over. Somehow that was still better than previous runs I've done today. As in the past 20 minutes. That slide bounce is actually really difficult for some reason. Just pick up a bad fly. Yeah. There's been a lot of changes to the movement for this room in particular, and I have not really learned it that much. I'm still messing up here and there. But it is faster overall, if you do it correctly. As it should be. Oh, hello, like 10 more messages in the chat that I didn't see. Thank you, YouTube. Travel eater. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Should I play grapple leader? That's actually a good character. That was awful. Seizures when climbing? What? Almost could have been faster. It's more balanced than some others. Oh, so you... Right, I remember they have like different states they can be in. It's like, do they have some sort of strengths when they're starving, but that's like counteracted by their being exhausted all the time. Not really a fan of that idea. I mean, I guess I would need to play it to find out for myself, but... I usually like characters that are like, we're very strong, but here's a huge handicap too, to make up for it, you know? I prefer more like balanced character overall. Maybe a character that's only strong in specific scenarios, or just a character who's just strong in general, like relative to the downpour characters. Like, Artificer's pretty strong, they don't really have any major downsides other than the creatures they have to fight, right? Same with Rivulet. They're just strong characters. More speed when starved, so they're faster and slower when they're starving. It's kind of weird. I don't even know what I did there. I think I just released way too early. Of course, the moment I start doing runs on stream, I make mistakes like this. Literally the very first attempt that I did of this run off stream, like, made it to the very end. That's what these splits are from. Insane food requirements. Well, they can eat like rocks, right? Is that like the main part of their character? Oh, you lose food pips over time. It's funny for like being a survival game, getting food is actually kind of not that important in this game. If you're playing Survivor, you go, you find a bit of blue fruit, and then that's it, you know. Congratulations, you found food. I really don't like that transition there. Where's enough rocks? Just eat the boulders. This is another slow start. I don't think you need to grab that pole. I kind of don't want to test it out in a real run. Well, it's only at the very start, so it probably doesn't make that much of a difference. Wow, it's actually faster. You act like a popcorn plant or like a cherry bomb. It's Frosted Festival. Like in St. Outskirts, I believe. And Saint's Sick campaign is really special, but I feel like it's been kind of... I kind of see it differently because of the speedrun. I didn't have the greatest experience with the speedrun. Okay, you know, let's do that again, why not? Yeah, I think these two rooms are still where I'm struggling the most because I'm still learning this new movement. Okay, let's not do any of them. See, I think I might be jumping too early, and so I'm doing a pole hop instead of a wall pounce. It's really annoying. I'm making a lot more mistakes than normal. Not that though. Oh, jump off. It's probably slower. Yeah, this song. In those scenarios, it's actually probably better to not wall or to not roll pounce. It sets you to a certain speed instead of continuing the speed that you already have. Okay. I'm gonna say something like I almost messed up there, but and then I did. I just kind of had a different trajectory than normal, so I wasn't used to it. I feel like there's still some rooms that I could practice a lot more, actually. Like I'm doing these full runs, and that's kind of the point of the stream, but... You know, actually, I kind of want to try... this one. Lap mod. And, or menu. So I'll have to restart the game real quick. I have a lot of windows open. I can go away. Still quite annoying that you have to restart the game every time you want to get a new mod. It's this lap mod. Curious how it works exactly. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Does it work in shelters? No. So, let's say that in this room, when I leave, I should just return back to the start. Yeah. So basically what this lets you do, whoops, why did I do it constant? I'm gonna go back to chimney. It's not chimney. So I said this is now just like false. This is clickbait. I said I was gonna do one thing and then I'm not doing it. But I'm still getting to these runs and then like messing them up, so. Can I go to the next room? Okay. I forgot that I rebinded my map key. That's what you use to actually go through rooms. So now I can practice this room. Not for the plank. for this new movement. Yep. Oops, totally forgot to chain them. The positioning on this is actually really precise, because you have to not hit the ceiling, but you have to be high enough to hit that wall, but you also can't be high enough to pole hop instead of wall pounce. It's very precise. Also, you can get a feel for it. That wasn't high enough. Just Gourmand already stamina that exists. Yeah, I had that mod. I don't think I had it for Artificer stamina, but I definitely had it for Gourmand. Okay, see, now I'm getting the wall pounces again, or the pole hops again. It's like just called stamina display or something. If I ever want to play those characters more again. Oh, is it a different mod? Again. That's what I'm going for. And this room is another difficult one. Already messing it up. Sometimes you don't get as much height as you need to. It's strange. For Artificer and Gourmand, those are characters that I really like and I really dislike. Because the current Artificer sword percent run is not ideal. I think everyone knows that. The Artificer run has a lot of potential. Like a sub 20 might even be possible. That might be ridiculous, but definitely like a low like 20, 21 or 22 time is totally possible. It's such an unreasonable thing to get like consistently. That's the main problem. It's just there's a lot of creatures and a lot of RNG. Like at the very beginning, if you want to get a vulture mask, you have to fight a vulture. You need one to show up very quickly. You need to get the mask very quickly. You need to not get killed by a slime lizard or a king vulture or a red lizard or a scavenger in the meantime. And then, you know, now that you have the mask, you have to do the rest of the run perfectly. And then you get to Metropolis and it becomes a lot worse. Because now there's a bunch of scavengers and dropwigs and vultures. And scavengers, did I already say that? But if you do all of that perfectly without dying and without taking any shelters, like a low 20 or even sub 20 is definitely possible. It's just like no one wants to do that run. Or the people who have tried have not been able to get it successfully. And I had a run that was close. I think there were like a few mistakes here and there, and then a really bad Scab King fight at the end. And that's another thing, you know, the last like 3 rooms of the run are the worst. There's a bunch of scavengers that you need to get past, and then the Scab King, and both of those are very inconsistent. And if there was just like a consistent strategy found for both of those, I think that it might actually be a category that I want to run again. there's still like the Vulture Mask at the beginning and like everything else on Metropolis that's hard to deal with. I'll do this one more time. There might be some wall pounces that you can do in the very beginning there, but I don't know if they're actually better. Yep, those are the wall pounces. You get a good RD run, it's probably not going to be beaten for a while. Well, maybe a good RD run like that would be the motivation people need to get a good RD run for themselves. It's similar for Gourmand, but Gourmand has a lot of creatures to deal with that are annoying, and you are much slower. And the stamina makes it really hard to avoid the situations. Like, RD doesn't really have that problem. Like, they have the mobility, but the creatures are like even worse for RD. For Gourmand, the creatures are a little bit easier, but you are also weaker. And stamina is a huge pain. I still can't get this consistently. Like doing a high jump, like starting the wall pounce like there means that you just wall pounce right here, or you do a pull hop. That's a pull hop that I just did, even though I did the inputs for a wall pounce. They're the same thing actually. That's the problem. I think maybe if I buffer the input a little bit, if I press jump before hitting the pull, so I buffer a wall pounce instead of doing a pull hop. Maybe that works. I just said that I was going to do it early. Yep, we're doing the playlist again. There'd be like no music playing in this area right now. It goes in your head. Least insane Rainward player. Is the music that quiet though? I'm just playing a playlist that I made on YouTube. This song. Let's just keep going. That's what you want ideally. Does this mod also change the cycle timer? Timing it's still like early in the cycle. Maybe every time you get set back, it just resets the timer too. When you first entered the room. I don't have dev tools on right now. It's gonna show up on the same screen. It'd be cool if you died, it just would send you back to that last pipe you went through. So I'm back here. Oh, this song. Where is this? Right, there we go. So the funny room, it's so short. I should record one of these and then use it for the intro of the stream. An infinite loop. So weird thing about this room, I have to use throwables to do these like extended slides and stuff, but they're not gonna be here when I reset the room. It would be cool if stuff like rocks were also reset to their original positions, so you could practice like consistent like EI hops and stuff. Irreversible brain damage, suggesting that Rivet doesn't already have brain damage. I mean, I wouldn't know. I didn't want to. You know, technically, I could do something here. So, oh, this is a really tall pole. Rivulet can fast pole climb. But it's just very difficult. This is a good pole to practice it on. It's really long. I feel like it might be frame perfect. Rivulet fast pole climbing. We're in the same room. Yeah, I forgot to keep going. I think I might be able to move a little bit faster than you. I don't know what character you're playing. I think that the cycle timer might be like frozen or something. Still gravel eating. No, don't be sorry for caps. I think that's fitting. Oh, I totally forgot I had that already. I mean, this is a really nice tool if you just want to practice like Just want to practice the speedrun in general. Oh, I forgot to do it again. I think that you should toggle. You should like press the button to toggle the lapping on, instead of pressing a button to like go to the next room. That's the way it works right now. I have to press a button to move to the next room. I forgot to do that. So. Is there like a timing window that I have to do it in? I forgot again. This time I just start with the worm. Worm on string. Now, the problem with practicing these rooms is that if I mess up, I die. Oh, I couldn't even warp out. All right. Yeah, I should enable dev tools. I mean, I don't know how long I'm gonna be doing this. Okay, I just got sent to purgatory. There we go. Get me out of here. I think it waited for me to like to respawn before I got sent to that room. Did that really just kill me? Okay. Am I still gonna be sent there? No, we're back in the shelter. It's a really nice song. I forgot again. Actually, no, all the Outer Expanse music is really good. Okay, that was annoying. As many times that room in the expedition, but that one room with like the crazy grappling. Yeah, that one room. That's very precise. I assume you're talking about this room. Somebody just had this. Here's a room with a rot and a bottomless pit. Whoa. Thought I was dead. Can you do wall passes with the grapple worm? That looks like you can't. No. I think triggering the grapple worm cancels the wall pounce input. Sometimes it opens up the map. That's the button that lets you go to the next room, pressing the map button. I think that's sometime soon-ish. I'm gonna try to do like a playthrough of every character. If you don't know, there's this event in the Rain World Speedrunning Discord. It's kind of like a tournament. It's an anonymous tournament, so you won't know who's playing. And you'll just be judged by like how well you play. And also by the audience. That's the main thing. So it'll just be streamed, audience will watch, and then like vote on who did better in like the competition. So it'll be like 1v1. Is this song louder than the others? And I may play in that tournament, although you won't know when exactly I'll be playing. That's kind of the point. But for that tournament, character that you'll be playing will be picked at random. And so it's worth it to be good at all the characters equally, right? Because maybe I'll get Rivulet and I'll be able to do like wall pounders and stuff. This is Wayon. Or Wayon? That's a funny name. So, you know, I kind of want to just play all the characters for a little bit, at least to kind of warm up and get used to their unique tech. Yeah, the point of it being anonymous is that so it isn't a popularity contest, but that would not help me. Well, it does help me because it means that people who are more well-known in the community won't have an advantage. Oh, I forgot. I always forget. Like, oh, I got sent back to the same room. I guess I can do this then. I forgot again. I'm still not used to doing this room in normal gravity, but the lap mod is kind of making this difficult because ideally the lap mod would basically turn back time and reset everything back to when you first entered the room, but that would be really complicated. So instead it just teleports you back to the same pipe, but it means things like the items on the floor and the gravity will be different. Well, in most areas the gravity won't change, but in this particular area it would matter. If I want to practice this movement here with the wall pounds, I would have to wait every time the gravity is low. I forgot again. I forgot again. Okay, I'd like to be able to set like, okay, lap this room instead of don't lap this room, you know? Good song. This song is great, actually. For a lot of people, it's the first song that they hear playing Downpour, and it's really good at being that song. Fortunately, Gourmand doesn't really have something like that. Actually, most characters don't have something like that. I don't think Rivulet has anything like that, and Spearmaster I don't think has anything like that. What's the other character? No, that's all of them. Gourmand doesn't have one, Artificer has one, Rivulet doesn't have one, Spearmaster doesn't have one, and Saint has one. Except Saint barely has one because the song resets the moment you talk to the Echo. Unless you avoid going to the Echo, which actually makes sense because that's you might not immediately know to head to the Echo. But if you do, then the song stops playing very quickly. But also this song plays for every character in that area of garbage wastes. I have to like do something weird with the refraction cell. I can't lap any of these rooms or else the cycle will be messed up. And there we go, already messed it up. I forgot. So that's my one request for this lap mod. Make it so that you activate a room to lap instead of deactivating it. Because I know when I want to lap a room, but I forget when I don't want to lap a room. This is a funny song. Oh, this is the Moon song. Well, that's from a different game. Moon's song. Yes, I think it is, yeah. It plays in Submerged. Or maybe just regular Moon for Spearmaster. They're the same area. I think this might be a better song that plays around Moon's chamber as the alternative to Random Gods. Please. This kind of sounds like, so like Random Gods it's like mostly kind of like random technological noises. That's how it kind of feels like, right? But then there's like a point in the song where there's actually like a melody in the background. That's actually the same theme as this. Like the Rain World theme. Or was I just now? Okay, well, refraction cell is gone. But this kind of reminds me of that, you know? The melody that you can hear in the background of Random Gods. Whoa, you can make that jump? I'm very surprised by that. Is there a faction still here? Oh. Actually, I think I'm dead. Man, I'm dead. By the way, what I did there was a jump storage slide bounce. Maybe there's an actual name for it. But basically you get jump storage by crouching and then pressing jump halfway through the crouch. And you get jump storage. And usually it's pretty useless. But jump storage does work on Riv's slide bounce for some reason, and it makes the jump much higher. I can actually show it right here. Like here's a good spot right here. That's a regular slide bounce. And then here's jump storage slide bounce. I almost touched the ceiling with that. Hate Sky Islands. Probably be really bad to like have a seizure when you're climbing in an area like Sky Islands. But I mean, I don't know what you're doing, so, or if grapple leader changes the map at all. The wind. Okay, there's a difference. I messed it up the timing. I have to do this room over again. Another song gonna play? Oh, this is actual Moon song. Not actual Moon song, Moon down. Okay, I was actually holding up the whole time. I don't know what happened. If you don't know what actual Moon song is, you should play Cave Story. Turn off the cooling fan in your device will stop the wind. Perfect logic. Wind in computer equals wind in game. The song is so quiet compared to the others. You know, it's funny. Actually, this song is the random gods of Present Moon. Oh, rip that. And I forgot again. Okay. So we wait here. Playing in. I can't tell if that's an upgrade or a downgrade. What did I just do? Was that a... I forgot again. Alright, we wait some more. The music volume might be too low now. Let me know if this volume is good. That's exactly what can happen in that area if you don't go high enough. Grapple, just chilling down there. Was this another Outer Expanse song? All the musicians got together and decided that they would make all the best music, or they would save all the best music for Outer Expanse. In rain is too loud. Days. This song is called Days. I actually thought it said D's for a second. Oh, that'd be cool. I mean, that would only work if the lap was like a toggle. Yeah, the song is called Days. I thought it said D's. I don't know how hard it is to implement like an entire new symbol for the pipes that toggles based on what the mod does, because the indicators on the pipes might be like hard coded. I don't know how they work. These rarefaction cells, that doesn't even work at all. I almost forgot right there. I feel like the lap mod doesn't really work with any of these rooms because of the way the rarefaction cell works. Like, it messes up the timing. Actually, hold up. That was close. I want to test something here. If I had DevTools on, I would speed this up. Whoa, okay, that's actually really worth it. The extra speed you get from the turnaround jump carries throughout the rest of that room. Oh, I forgot to... Hey, this song. Just make sure the bunny hop throughout the rest of it. Whoops, not that far though. I think this is one of like the older songs for the game. like the old versions or the old trailers. I forgot. Is that worth doing? I'm like over here. Glide pounce. That was really bad. Glide pounce. Wall jump. Wall pounce. I guess that can work. Depends on where the reflecting cell turns off, though. Oh, that actually is pretty good. Okay, by the way, there's a little trick you can do here. This is why I don't do it in runs. You can do a slide pounce here. Into a wall pounce. I think you can at least. But it like lines up pretty well. I really need to practice this. There we go. Don't mess it up at the end, though. Oh, another Pipe Red song. Has anyone done a Rain World GeoGuessr yet? I did it correctly. Can you believe it? You basically take a screenshot of a small part of some random room, and then you try to guess where that room is exactly. Maybe not exactly. Just like you know, which region it is and which general area. So I feel like I have a lot of experience with the map of this game. There is? Like, what do you mean there is? Is it like a mod or like some video someone made? This is very difficult, and I don't even know if it's worth it. Website. Oh, can I do that? Look, this is what the alternative is, by the way. Like, that's still very fast. Just jump down, jump across, and that's it. Congratulations. Or you can do this, which is like very difficult but a little bit faster. Oh, I actually still hit that there, even though I did a pounce instead of a like failed pounce. That's what usually happens. This is something that the lap mod is very nice for. But since you don't use the reflecting cell in this room. But I mean, is this ever gonna get consistent? And is it worth doing in runs? Because the penalty for making a mistake is like way more, and you can pretty much never mess up the other technique. From shaded. I assume that it would be. Well, actually, most of shaded is still very difficult to recognize because there isn't much detail in the environment because it is so dark. Like, even if you had a lantern or a neon light, it's still hard to tell. Anyway, we're gonna move on. I don't know if I'll be able to do that consistently. I don't know if doing that is faster than just pouncing across from the beginning. It's a slow part to each of the strategies, and I forgot. this keeps happening. This is what you can't do instead. Roll pounce there, but then you just kind of like land awkwardly here and you can't jump afterwards. Unless you like wait a little bit. Let's see if there's a better way to do this room. Like all the movement is awkward. Well, actually, there's only a handful of rooms that are like completely pitch black, and some of them still have some recognizable features, especially like pipes on the walls. So if you really were familiar with shaded, you could recognize all the rooms by the position of all the pipes, because those are never really like shaded. And like speaking of, well, actually, not speaking of shaded, this is from Jimmy. This song reminded me of David though. For some reason, even though I've heard this song 1,000 times when doing like 12% runs, this is like the chimney song. Speaking of shaded. This song is amazing. Somehow, these areas are still annoying for me. Like Rivulet, the aquatics like that, struggles to turn around underwater for some reason. Jetfish City. See that? Like, see how many jetfish there are here? And there's no kelp to kill them all. I mean, control the population. Is this playlist public? No. Ah, that's a plank. So you can do planks underwater too. They just slow down much faster. I think the main thing that triggers a plank is just falling fast enough into water. Like, look at this. Ow, don't look at that. Like, see that boost of speed that I get? That's a plank, I think. The main difference between that and a real plank is immediately leaving the water, which lets you keep all that speed for much longer. Can't lap any of these rooms. I forgot. I don't mind the creepy ambience in this area. Let's listen to this chill music instead. That's another chimney song. Drainage. Oh. Here's a funny song. What is this even from? Is this one of the alpha songs? So not in the actual game, probably. Oh. It's funny that all the alpha songs have such a distinct feel to them. It's also amazing that the Rivulet devs knew that the game was changing and became a entirely different thing, so they knew to also change the music to fit that. But somehow I think that a lot of the alpha music would also fit in this version of the game. This is the worst room. Why I like to activate the reflection so late. Hello? Do I go through? Consistent strategy that I found that works like all the time. Weird that all the pipes in this region are super short. I mean, I guess that's consistent. Whoever made all these rooms was like, yeah, let's like make the pipes really short. Except for that one, I guess. But especially this one at the end of this room. Because the eel lizard has killed me there. The pipe is so short that I couldn't react to the pipe flashing. Very fun. But the eel can be anywhere here, and that will ruin your day every time. Okay, well, I might drown. Just go up here. Yeah, let's just go up here. I forget another time. This is the problem. Actually got close to drowning. I can really drown. They have gills. I just remembered not to do that for the rest of these rooms. I feel like I've noticed something with the refraction cell. It might just be me. I don't know if this is actually a real thing. I haven't tested it, but it feels like if you move in the same direction for too long, like if I just hold in one direction, for example, like I'll do it right now. I feel like you kind of slow down, and then the moment you start like making turns and changing direction, then it like you go back to like normal speed. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to an hour-long run. I'm using a mod that lets me reset rooms. So basically, when I leave the room, I just enter from the start of that same room. So it lets me repeat rooms repeatedly to practice them. I will be doing full attempts after this. because I felt like I was messing up in a lot of sections. The game crashed. Yes. Isn't that great? They still haven't fixed that. Not like they are gonna fix it, probably. It's a weird thing to fix. Like, patch notes. The game will no longer crash when exiting out of the room. Or exiting out of the game in this room. But it would be so awesome. It would be so cool. Still a little bothered by the fact that there hasn't been any updates to Downpour in like many months. I guess the priority was the console ports, but wait, do I have any Bitter Airy songs in this playlist? Thank you. Also, this is louder. Can I find like a rock or something? Oh. Yep. Wandering away from the route. I've never been in this room before. There's a rock. Trying to do fancy tech. This is literally a pipe that you can go through to get up there. I want to try this. Oh, there's literally rock in that room too. I think there might also be another way to do this kind of wall bounce. Yeah, like that, except that was really bad. Huh. That's not nearly as good as the normal wall bounces that Rivulet can get. That's what I'm trying to do. Awesome. Interesting movement there. I feel like I've gotten a lot worse at EI hops though. If I had been playing Survivor instead of Rivulet, then like I'd have reason to practice them a lot more. But there's only like a handful of parts in this run where you can use EI hops, and slide bounces are still like pretty fast, so like there's not as much of a reason. Whereas for Survivor, EI hops are like significantly faster than any other movement option you have, except for maybe like extended slides. But if you have the space to do an extended slide, then you also have the space to do an EI hop. Whereas for Rivulet, it's like they're basically the same distance. Or at least like most rooms are too small for you to have like enough space to make use of the full distance of the move. Forgot it. I press up right after hitting the water there, and I feel like it lines me up to like correctly. Hello. Welcome to the stream over on Twitch. I don't know when you posted that message. Can I configure this? No. Okay. Alright, disable those two. We'll do another full run. Hopefully without too many resets. Or if the same workshop was added to the Switch. If only it was that easy. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, hold up, splits again. Yeah. If I do, did I do this correctly? So I still have creatures disabled, and I still have no karma requirements. Did you miss Blizzard Lizard? No, actually, because I have creatures disabled, so they did not even exist. And they will not exist for a while. But you know how Downpour is like kind of a collection of mods already? Like Jolly Co-op, Expeditions, Remix, like all those are technically mods. It's all packaged together as the Downpour DLC. It'd be cool if on the console versions that if the devs kind of added a few of the more popular mods, just so that console players had the option to use them. But I don't know how that would work out, like for actually including those in the game. So, actually not a reminder because like nobody was in the stream when I explained this the first time. So with karma requirements disabled, you don't need to karma cache. And overall, except because of the weird way that karma caching messes with the timer, it adds about 17 seconds to the in-game timer. Or karma caching does. So whatever the time that I get at the end of this run, if I do finish the run, just like add 17 seconds to it. And that's like what a reasonable run could look at. Creatures will slow me down, but also creatures don't make that big of a difference. They either end the run or they don't make too much of a difference at all. So if I get a time without creatures, then I can also get the same time with creatures. It just takes more attempts. Oh man, that was really not good. It's kind of like what Rivals of Aether does, or did. If anyone knows that game. Because it had a really big Steam workshop too. Like modded characters were super popular. And then they added a few of them to like an official version of the game that was also available on consoles. And it was only 4 characters that they added. It's a pretty cool thing for them to do. I was about to say like, wow, I'm not making any mistakes, but there we go. Yep. so for the first one, hit it way early, and then for the next one, hit it as late as possible. Playing console Rainbow without encountering bugs challenge impossible. Playing just base like Rainbow on PC without encountering bugs. No, not base, like with like Jelly Co-op. There's a ton of bugs for that. There's also a lot of like centipedes. Ah, look at these bugs in the background. That accidental whiplash made me pick up a rock to let me do the AI hop afterwards. This is still behind, I think. Around orange lizards, especially if the orange lizards think that they're in a group of 0. I'll do that. A little bit faster. Still, I don't know what I did on the first run. By the way, these splits that I'm comparing against was literally for my first attempt of doing this run. I was like, let's do a no creatures run just to get some splits, and then that was the first run I got. But does that mean that you can't play Saint at all? There's like an orange lizard in every room for Saint. Didn't mean to do that, but it worked. Should have stayed, grabbed onto them. Time to die to this room. Nope. This is still not a great ending. Don't do it like that. You don't need to grapple a second time. Oh, that sure is a paragraph of text. Why'd I do that? I never do an extended slide there. I just picked up a rock and felt compelled. Ah yes, I have a rock, I do a slide, then it slide. How to chain together roll pounces. So when you're doing rolls, the length that you, or the distance that you get from the roll pounce afterward depends on how long that you roll. And in order to trigger another roll, you need to jump from high enough. So basically what you need to do is get into this rhythm of rolling as long as possible before each jump. If you wait too long, then you'll stop rolling and you won't get the roll pounce. But if you do it too early, you won't get enough height to trigger the next roll. So get used to how long you can roll, like the maximum time, and always like do the jump then. Also, it doesn't work with fast rolls. So if you're using controller, then you have to. Actually, I don't know how you do it on controller. But just don't do a fast roll. Usually, or I figured it out by like listening to the rhythm of the sound of rolling. There's kind of a rhythm to it. That's how you can get used to when exactly you're supposed to do the second, do the roll pounce. Picked up a blue neuron, hiding inside that other neuron. Wow, I can't believe I got that. That's like one of the more difficult wall pounces. And I still don't know how to do this. Not like that. Okay. This is very bad, but whatever. I'll keep going. Rolling is very slow as Rivulet, so I never do like chain roll pounces in this run. But like by varying the amount of time that you roll before you do the roll pounce, you can have some control over the distance of the jump. Sometimes I delay the roll pounce a little bit to space the jump properly. Surprised that worked. I would have thrown the spear there and then grabbed onto it, but I threw the rock instead and it still worked. Somehow that saved time? What did I do last round? Hold up. Minus 12 and then, or plus 12 and then minus 5? Does that mean 17-second time save is possible? Is that how splits work? Am I doing the math wrong? Silencers are sometimes idiots. You know, they're like one of the smarter lizard variants. Be able to control like their jumps and stuff, and using them effectively when hunting. But also sometimes they just jump straight off a cliff. I think there's a kind of funny idea that behavior like that isn't like, there's no reason for that kind of lizard species to die out, you know? You would think that, you know, sign lizards wouldn't be very common if they kept jumping off of cliffs. But because of the cycle and they keep coming back anyway, it doesn't matter. I think that's why that's like a decent explanation for why a lot of creatures in the game kind of jump off of cliffs without like even thinking. It's like, it doesn't matter too much. They'll just come back in the next cycle. That wasn't even gold. For whatever reason, that slide pounce in particular is difficult for me. The spacing on that one is kind of weird. Really? I took fall damage there. That doesn't usually happen. Doing this room kind of weird. That wasn't great either. Okay, that was close. You know, I didn't even know if you need the reflection cell to be on for that jump. So it kind of looked like I made it anyway. Also, you can do a slide into this tunnel, but it's inconsistent. I think it could be the fastest way to do that room. Goodness, the fast falls. I don't know why you get fast falls there. Wow. I think I'm getting a lot better at that drop. I did something slower. I don't know why I lost 5 seconds. Oh yeah, the weird movement in that one room. That was probably part of it. And the fall damage. Oh, that sounds familiar. Why did I say that? Every song in this playlist sounds familiar. I think we already heard this song this stream though. Sundown? No, I think this is Pictures of the Past. Yeah. Sundown is the menu theme. So I found a new little trick here. Not that. I did it totally wrong. You want to do a turnaround jump. So halfway through the turnaround, or not halfway. Instead of doing a backflip, you just turn and jump, and from that turnaround speed, you activate the reflection cell. So that you can maintain the speed going forward. But I totally messed it up. Nice backflip, thank you. I wish I didn't do a backflip though. I'm gonna try the new strat for this turn. Yeah, it worked. Although the reflection cell was on for longer than I thought it would be. Also, is this shaded music? I messed up all those wall bounces. The last one. What is this song called? Glass Arcs. No. I'm considering if I should go for that in real runs. It's so difficult, but it saves so little time too. Also, I kind of like the idea of just going for all the tech I can. Glass arcs. That was really bizarre movement. Okay, also, what is this time save? I messed, or did I mess up the jump? Yeah, I did. It still saved that much time. I think there's like way more time save than I thought there was. I'm gonna have to look at the sum of bests after this. And also, this time does not exactly reflect in-game time, which is the important one. Hypeyard song. See, that's an area where I want to have the longer roll counts. That fish room. Still not very good at this room. Getting better at the ending of it. That was kind of an awkward part. I hope the jetfish aren't awful. No jetfish here. Now this room always has a jellyfish. I should probably enable the jellyfish because they're like a completely consistent creature, unlike everything else. It's mostly the inconsistency and randomness of the other creatures is why I want to disable them, but the jellyfish is always there in the same positions, so I'm fine with keeping them enabled. I probably should keep them enabled so that I can get used to avoiding them. I hate when that happens. I can't tell which direction I'm facing in these tunnels. So I just have to hope that I'm facing the right direction. It would take too long to try to like turn around. Jetfish, please don't. Okay, they already messed with me. Just one little bonk from a jetfish and start crashing into everything. Will the game crash? No. Wow. That never happens. And I kind of hate the idea when I finally go for real runs, have like world record pace, be finally like almost about to finish like the best run yet, and then the game crashes and it's like, well, that was all for nothing. And it did happen the last time I was going for world record runs. Game did crash a whole lot. Okay, really both of them. I lost a bunch of runs. I guess it was kind of a good thing because I ended up getting the best run yet on the one time it didn't crash. So maybe if the game didn't crash on those first attempts, then the world record wouldn't have been as good as it is now. But also, it's like still frustrating, you know. I got that correctly. It's crazy that can even happen. Just like random chance, not even like creature randomness, just complete randomness. Like if you are unlucky, the run is just over. But that's what happens. I didn't get any pull-ups there, but whatever. I don't even know if the pull-ups are the best way to do that room. Oh, splits. That was really good. That was very good. There were actually still mistakes, and that was good. So actually, let me add this up. 38. So this would be a sub 28 run if you add the time that karma catching would add. This would be a 27:55 with mistakes. I want to see if I can check some of the bests. I'd have to like it out. $27.32. That actually doesn't really mean much because that's the real time. But the difference between those two is time calculations. Whoops. So there's like another 40 seconds of time saved. What? That can't be real. Well, okay, it's a sum of bests, so it's like very unrealistic to actually get that. But actually, I've only done 9 runs, so like, that's like not the best thing that I could get. So let me explain something. So this run that I got, or I guess the run before this run, that practice run, I got a time of 27:59. And so that was kind of like proof to me that was like, oh, I can get a sub 28. Except then I was like, well, 27:59 plus 17 is, of course, over 28. So I was like, okay, maybe a sub 28 isn't possible. I would need to find 17 seconds of time save somewhere. And that run felt really good. That felt like a really good practice run, and I was thinking there's no way I'll be able to save 17 seconds, because that's still a lot, and most of the time saves that we found recently have only been like 5 seconds here, 2 seconds here, right? We need to find like a whole new set of those kind of time saves to save 17 seconds. But that was assuming that I had already done the perfect run, and so there are like 17 seconds, or maybe even more than 17 seconds worth of mistakes in that run. And I guess like judging off of this, and literally what I just did, in a run that still had mistakes in it, sub 28 is like absolutely possible. And that's really good to know, because for when I do real attempts, which it's kind of been this like mystical, like, when am I going to do these real attempts that I've been mentioning? But when I eventually get around to it, dealing with creatures, you know, all of that stuff, I want to play a specific song right now. Does that song even exist? Hello? There we go. And so, would holding a rock that infinitely restores to help make the run faster? Yes. That'd be huge. There's like no reason not to just like throw boost all the time if you could do that. I think that was like the Lancer character, right? Lancer could do that. You had the spear and you could throw it, but it wouldn't like leave your hands, right? So you could just throw it repeatedly. That was a fun character because of that reason. Same with the Spore Cat. Spore Cat was kind of an uninteresting character, but you could pick up the spores and throw them, so it was like a bunch of free throw boosts. But anyway, with this like sub 28 thing, I really want to know if it was possible, because to like have some specific goal like that to go for in a run, I didn't want to aim for an impossible goal and be like, well, maybe it's technically possible, and then I could do like hundreds of attempts and never get it. Right, that could totally happen. And but now I know it's definitely possible. Like, this was only 5 seconds faster than sub 28, or faster than 28 exactly. Accounting for karmic hashing, of course. But there were also mistakes. Like, there were still mistakes, and potentially 40 seconds of time save overall, right? That depends actually on like other like real-time stuff. So maybe using splits isn't exactly accurate for figuring that out. But that's cool. I think the next time I Rivulet, unless it's some sort of challenge or like other mod, it will probably be real attempts where I will try to get a sub 28. That'll be the goal. Which is a little bit ridiculous. I'm even saying this because sub 30 was difficult. I spent like hundreds of attempts trying to get a sub 30 run, and now it's like, well, let's just skip 29 and just go straight to 28. The what? The what at the end? Oh, from the song? I think this is probably the end of the stream. So I got the run that I wanted to get, and you know, I still, that can still be improved. Yeah, the song. It's a rare song. I don't get to hear it that often. You'd think that since it plays at the beginning of the Saint run, I would hear it too much, but it's actually the opposite. So it plays and then it immediately stops. I have a bunch of other ideas for streams though, so I'm probably still going to do a little bit of practice off stream for this run before I do real attempts, and I'll do like other random ideas. I might also play Terraria or Geometry Dash if I'm when the update comes out. That depends. So thanks everyone for watching. See ya.